Jason McCord, thanks for sitting down with TalkToDrivers.com.
Thank you for having me.
How did you get your start in racing?
Basically, my dad started taking me to races in the 70s. I grew up a USAC sprint car fan, and just dreamed of one day getting the chance to do that. And that's pretty much how it evolved. Just hanging around and going to races, and then met up. My cousin Donnie Adams raced USAC midgets and sprint cars, and one of my best friends, Trey House, did. So going to the racetrack with those guys and learning the race cars and hanging around, learning the ropes.
You're the new director of the Silver Crown Division. Does that have you excited?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's a new challenge. Now that I had to retire, forced through neck injuries. So basically, it's a way to stay involved in the sport, and throughout your career, you see things as a racer you'd like to change, and now maybe I can have a positive impact on that. So I'm definitely excited about that.
What were some of your most memorable racing moments?
There's good and bad. I think one that everybody remembers is the last lap at Winchester. Doug Collett and I tangling, and I flipped from turn 4 to turn 1, and we didn't win, but we ran third, upside down. And then, the Silver Crown win at Raceway Park was memorable. All the IRP wins, Sprint Cars, Silver Crown, and then the inaugural sprint car race at Richmond International Raceway, which was one of my favorite racetracks, was definitely a memorable one. What
was one of your most amusing, embarrassing moments in racing?
Actually, it was probably followed up by one that was a little more embarrassing for somebody else. It was at Kokomo during qualifying. Everybody remembers the big spill that Kenny Irwin Jr. took, who was a good friend of mine. And right after he dumped his, they hauled his back in on a wrecker, and I went out and did the exact same thing in the exact same spot. So that was, I guess you don't learn from your friends' mistakes.
You announced the 2007 Little 500. Was that fun?
Yeah, it was. It was something I've done some of that stuff before, never for that length of time. And my good friend Dave Argerbright called me, and I'm a good friend with Rick Dawson, the owner of Anderson Speedway, and they thought I might be a good fit to do some of the play-by-play and the color, and I have knowledge of the race cars, obviously, and I've run that race 14, 15 times, so they felt like I'd be a good fit, and it was fun. It was a challenge, and I learned as I went. By the halfway mark, by lap 250, I felt real comfortable, and I've never had trouble in front of a microphone. It's just a lot of fill time.
Of the old school drivers, who would you like to compete against? Name at least 3.
Of the old school drivers, well, definitely. I was on the phone with him the other day. I would say AJ Foyt, Parnelli Jones, and Roger McCluskey.
Did you have a favorite racetrack?
Yeah, I did. Actually, it was kind of a tie between Richmond International and Phoenix International. Those were my 2 favorite racetracks.
Why?
Speed, just fast. You can't replace the feeling of the speed that Phoenix gives you going through the dogleg on a back chute, and Richmond going through the dogleg on a front chute. It's just it's a thrill a minute there.
Which USAC division was your favorite?
I would say probably the Silver Crown, just because of the duration of the races, and they're unique races. You have to play some strategy, the fuel load burning off, tires wearing out, and you kind of race hard when you have to, and back off when you need to, but you never lane by. You just race as hard as you have to until the end and save your best for last. So the Silver Crown races were a blast, but I also love the dirt miles.
What do you do for relaxation, non-racing related?
Golf. As much as I can. Between myself and Trey, I got Trey hooked on golf a couple years ago, and he started playing, and he got ate up with it, and it's kind of a bug, and now Cottle comes down, and we all try to get together and go out and hit some balls, and whenever we can, go out and play some golf and have some fun.
Jason McCord, thanks for sitting down with TalkToDrivers.com.
Thank you, I appreciate it.